Some of the Tonton victims, some of their luckier victims, escaped. Some escaped to Miami. Their ordeals, suffered since Baby Doc supposedly disbanded the Tontons, are embedded in their memories. A relative accused of political activity, tortured and killed by the Tonton Macoute.
I went to one party.
Arrested for an argument with a Tonton at a party, escaped. This man didn't have the $10 to buy a gun to join the Tonton when they tried to recruit him. So they tried to arrest him, but he escaped. This man complained when a Tonton refused to pay a car repair bill. He, his mother, and grandfather were arrested and beaten. His mother died. He escaped. Jacques Mompremier, director of the Haitian Refugee Center in Miami, says it seems only the working hours have changed. The Tonton don't kill in the daytime any longer.
When Duvalier was in power, they don't care to kill people during the daytime. Whenever they want to kill someone, they still kill it. But now they don't do the same thing, killing people in the daytime at any time. But it has been reported to us here that many people get killed in the night. The people must understand that we have a kingdom in Haiti. Even though they don't call it kingdom, it is a kingdom. And for Jean-Claude to keep the power, he has to keep killing.
Is a democratic government as it is defined in our constitution.
Donathan Alphonse is Haiti's Director General of Economic Planning.
When I say democratic, you know that I would say democracy is not an absolute value. So democracy is to be adapted to the local, geographical, and I would say geopolitical conditions. So our democracy is very genuine, is the Haitian democracy.
Why do you have a president for life?
According to our democracy, we realize that only a president for life can give us this stability required for the economic development and peace.
Once the rich farmland of Haiti made it France's most profitable colony. Now it can't feed itself. The most prolific land is owned by big companies and a few individuals. Most of its products, coffee, sugar, are exported. Sugarcane is a staple of the Haitian diet, but its nutritional value is low. Haitians are among the 3 or 4 worst-fed people in the world. Few Haitians own cars, and the government runs neither buses nor trains, so this is what public transportation's like. It's like filling up about anything that moves. The vehicles are privately owned. The average fare is 15 cents, which is too much for most Haitians, so they walk and they carry. In this society, an inexpensive beast of burden, the human beast. It's different, of course, for President for Life Jean-Claude Duvalier. His means of transportation includes a collection of expensive sports cars and motorcycles. This on a salary of $25,000 a year. And in a country where the main highway is paved for only 20 miles, and it took 10 years to pave that much. Work on this new highway and on just about all government projects proceeds very slowly because of corruption. A U.S. Senate report estimated that $10 million in Haitian government funds is unaccounted for each year. That's about 20% of Haiti's budget.
We are not aware of any kind of those disappearance of funds you just mentioned.
Do you have any corruption in government?
We could not say that there is corruption. Neither we could not say that there is not corruption.
But many say there is corruption on a massive scale. Estimates are that government officials have slipped as much as $500 million out of Haiti in the last 15 years.
restera dans la chronologie.
While they have been taking it out, the United States has been putting money into the country, into projects including Habitation Leclerc, a resort hotel of opulence, a playground for the international wealthy. It was built partially with U.S. aid money, in line with the stated goal of the American Lending Agency of making substantial long-range contributions to developing nations. The hotel's contribution, it employs about 175 Haitians, their wages $30 to $35 a month. Haiti's tiny elite owns almost everything. About 10% of the people live like this, looking down literally and figuratively on the rest of the people. This member of the elite, a man who wore a different Pierre Cardin suit almost every day, was assigned by the government to help us when we filmed. He resisted, however, taking us to neighborhoods like this, the slums. But the slums are almost everywhere. Most Haitians live in them. Often they walk miles for water. Sanitation is worse than primitive. Life expectancy in the slums, 35 years. Infant mortality, 30%. Unemployment, 75%. The few Haitians lucky enough to find jobs are employed in factories like this one, which manufactures electronic components. Its machinery and raw materials come from abroad. Its finished products are shipped abroad. Only the labor comes from and stays in Haiti.
We have a minimum wage in Haiti of $1.30 a day, and we pay a little more so we can get a better class of girls.
Is there any sort of union establishment here?
No.
And no particular labor problems of any sort?
No labor problems. We have our minor little skirmishes, but the Labor Department is very fair, and we do all right.
We inadvertently precipitated Haiti's first strike since 1958. A group of nightclub dancers refused to perform because its employer gave us permission to film the dancers without their prior knowledge. The strike lasted 4 minutes. Before we could intercede, the employer fired them, although they'd been working there for 15 years. Tourists, particularly Americans, are visiting Haiti in increasing numbers to see such awesome sights as the Citadel. It was built after Haiti overthrew the French in 1804. The country's first king, an ex-slave, forced 250,000 other ex-slaves to work 13 years on the fortress. For most Haitians, things aren't much better today. This is Herbert Kaplow.